Hi there everyone, just got another world update. The Iceland eruption is still going after 23 days, but it has slowed down a lot. There's only 2 vents out of the fissure, I think, and they've managed to keep the lava away from Grindavik. It has slowed down a lot, but there is talk of uplift still happening, so people are thinking it could go on for a bit longer than expected. This is the big event out of the 2 that we're looking at now. And there's been quite a lot of earthquake activity going on that I want to have a look at in a second, but first check out this Category 1 cyclone off the top of Western Australia, which is Cyclone Olga, which is expected to just graze past the top of Western Australia and go out into the ocean. So it's supposed to disperse and go south. Not supposed to affect Western Australia much, but that could change. So yeah, winds are at 74 knots today, and it's expected to go out into the ocean and weaken by Friday. They're going to drop, winds are going to be 30 knots by then, by Friday 12th. But at the moment it's pretty strong for a Category 1 cyclone, and it does have a fairly big eye on it. Yes, it might have actually weakened a bit already, because it says 75 knots, but it's actually only showing 57 on there. So yeah, if that comes any closer or changes track, I will update on that in the next couple of days. And earthquakes, there's been a lot going on. The Earth's been shaking a lot this week. So I'm looking at the last 7 days here, and it started off with, well, I'll show you this first. This was the, where is it? This one here was a 6.4 Taiwan Hualien City, 11 kilometers northeast of the city, and that was only 12.6 kilometer depth. But there's been a lot of shallow, really shallow, like 10 kilometer depth earthquakes this week, and it started with these ones here, a 6.2 north of the Mariana Islands on the 2nd, and that was 10 kilometer depth. And then there was multiple large aftershocks. There's a 4.8, 5.2, and that was the day after. And then another 6.8, Morg Islands. But that was a very deep one. But yeah, this one near Taiwan was very shallow. And after that, basically the whole ring of fire has been going off. This is just this week that I'm looking at now. So there's been heaps in Indonesia. These are all mostly above 5. This is 5, 5.1, 4.3, and another 5, New Caledonia, and some big ones in Tonga, 5.6, and these are shallow too, 67 kilometre. Oh, that's 100 kilometre. 4.6, 4.4, 4.4 Fiji, 5.1 Kermadec Trench. So yeah, there was these, started here and then it went over to the other side. Started in Marianas Trench and then it went over to the other side on this fault. And then we had the same thing over here. Which we don't normally see a lot of activity here. El Salvador, 5.1. Dominican Republic, 4. Mexico, 5. And 5.1 off the Ecuador there. And a 5.3 Northeast Pacific rise. And then another one down here as well. So all these fault lines went off straight up, well, not straight after, a few days after the Marianas one. Which when that one goes, it seems to affect everything else. And then there was a strange one, 4 point, up in near New York, 4.8. Says New Jersey there. So the whole ring of fire has been going off this week, and I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, and also it goes right across the equator. Also there's been ones in Turkey, India, India, 5 in China, Satong, another 5.3, China, Turkey, 4.4. Yeah, the whole way across the equator and all the way around the ring of fire. A couple small ones in New Zealand here too. 4.3 in Korora. So if they're talking about uplift in Iceland again, I wouldn't be surprised if that keeps erupting for a while longer yet. However, it's been quiet there, but that doesn't mean that something won't happen. There's been nothing there this week, or nothing over 2.5 anyway. So I'll be probably waiting, maybe expecting something possibly next week. Even along the Africa ridge there, Atlantic ridge, that's a 5.0, 5.1, 5.0, Azores. It's all been happening. And we've got back to the weather side of things. So I will update on that Cyclone Olga later on. But the US has got a huge this is today, they've got that big low pressure system swirling around in the center, Nebraska, but the one that's gonna have to watch out for is on, I think Wednesday 10th. Yeah. Yep. That forms in the Gulf and goes directly north into the 11th, and by the 13th it's dragging down, so that goes up the east coast there, but by the 13th it's dragging down all this Arctic air through Canada, through Ontario. Yeah, it's all coming down right from the Arctic. So it's going to be extremely cold. And then really strong winds pushing up here through New York. All the way up the east coast pretty much. So yeah, there's a lot going on at the moment, and I will update later on that cyclone, or if anything else changes, earthquakes or whatever, or if this eruption gets worse. And thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.